Ever since Android 9, a developer known as Constacang, shout out to his work by the way, has been porting Android over to the Raspberry Pi 4. And over the years, as newer versions have been ported, we have seen many improvements to the performance and compatibility of Android on the Raspberry Pi. However, most people use a monitor with their Raspberry Pi, and they have found that Android does not manage the immense space of their monitor very efficiently. That is, until now. Android 12L was recently released as a version of Android specifically designed for larger screens, such as tablets, or in this case, desktop monitors. Let's jump into this new operating system and check it out. The first thing we notice is that the back, home, and window buttons, or the shapes if you will, are on the right side instead of the corner. Additionally, when we launch an application, we find a sort of taskbar at the bottom of the screen. Multitasking is also made very easy. By just simply dragging an app icon from the taskbar, you can use two apps side by side. Overall, it's an amazing design, just like JPT merch. Price is starting at just $12, link in the description below. Also, the large monitor space is managed much more efficiently now. The buttons and icons are now a much more reasonable size, whereas before they were very large and even sometimes pixelated. Aside from the UI improvements, we have some under-the-hood features on their way. Many of you may know that hardware-accelerated video decoding was previously unavailable for Android on the Raspberry Pi, leaving the only option to software decoding. While software decoding technically works, it tends to be very laggy and it runs at a low resolution. However, if we look out in the Raspberry Pi settings, which is a custom option in the Android settings specifically designed for the Raspberry Pi, we find the new option to enable the highly experimental hardware video decoding. Though this is currently experimental, I would anticipating it becoming stable within the foreseeable future. Now, Android continues to constantly improve on the Raspberry Pi, with each release definitely better than the last. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for what's next.